Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you getting into my budget closeout for the month of September. I've already kind of closed out my weekly check-in 5. I'm not going to do a complete video on that, but I'm going to include it in here, which I usually do with my budget closeouts. But I'm just going to show you the numbers really quick on what that looks like because I only had 2 transactions. And we're going to go here to my spending calendar. I had 2 transactions of eating out. So my husband and I decided to go eat out on Thursday instead of Friday. We went to King Buffet and got Chinese, and then my sons ordered their Friday night pizza night on Thursday as well. But I'm counting it for this last week with Papa John's for $30.52. Now the reason we did all this on Thursday instead of our normal eating out Friday is because of the hurricane that was coming up through the south all the way up to Kentucky. It was crazy. I didn't think I would be seeing hurricane force winds in my own Kentucky backyard, but I did. Our property's fine. We got a lot of the wind and the outer elements of it as it went up into the middle of the south of the United States. And it was Hurricane Helene, if you're watching this in the future. So that was a hurricane we were talking about, but I am praying for all of you that were in the direct path from Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina especially. All I see is closed roads on the western half, and it just wiped out everything, and you can't get in and out. It's crazy, and things like that. So, and then obviously Tennessee, Kentucky, I know Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, where we went last year for vacation and then going again sometime this year. Also lots of heavy water and not damage as much, but I'm sure the residential areas got damaged more than the touristy attractions did. So yeah, just a lot of rain. I know Dollywood was underwater, which was really bad for their parking area, especially flash flooding. All kinds of craziness this weekend that happened. So that's why you're not seeing a lot of spending. And also you see here the payday for the Monday, which my husband gets paid the 30th or the last day of the month, and they count that as the 30th, which was on Monday. They gave it to Friday night on midnight, and we actually got it on Saturday morning. So we had cash already, and so I went ahead and counted these into the next month of October because I wanted to close out September and get into October, which I am excited about because it's my birthday and my husband's birthday. So we're really excited about that. So yeah, we're going to do these 2 transactions. They are restaurants, so not really any paperwork to kind of figure out, but we spent $38.76 plus the $30.52. That was $69.28. And I could have counted this like into October as well, but I decided I still had enough in the budget for this time period. So it was $69.28. Nothing else in the rest of the categories. If I add and subtract all of these, like $229.16. Minus 34, that's a sloppy 3, I do apologize. 27 minus the 94, and plus the 36.68, and minus the $6.32. Yes, so I still had $134.31 left over in the spending categories of the weekly check-in. Combined. So if you took all the money combined for all these specific categories and like unstuffed all your cash envelopes, that's essentially what I would unstuff for my cash. And I just do it mathematically on paper instead of actually using cash. So now I know these numbers, I can take this information and I'll just show you really quick. Week 3, 4, and 5 are the categories I spent and for paycheck 2, and we're going to take those totals and put them into our paycheck 2 closeout, and then we'll be ready to start a new month. Again, today's the 30th. I've got so many videos to get up, and hopefully I can get them recorded and up for you guys on time, but a couple of them might be behind schedule, so I do apologize for that. So how I figure out my totals on what I spent for the paycheck period, I take the weeks that are included in it, and that's week 3, 4, and 5, and it starts with $339 $308.32 for grocery household, and then $306.52 for grocery household here, and then 0 there. So we had $645.84, and that is how I find out how much we spent. So all I have to do is take that number and put that number here, and I'm not sure why I wrote a 2. 645.84. So I subtract that from this 875, and that should match, and it does, the 229.16. The only reason it says negative here is I did it backwards. I took the smaller and then the larger, even though that's not how it was supposed to go. So I know my number is accurate, and I'm good to go for the rest of these. They should all be accurate. I already did the math on them. I only do the first one as an example to show you guys where the number's coming from. And I'm just going to write down the rest of the numbers. So that's grocery household. We did total of $350.02 for eating out. Next I have miscellaneous, which is $147.94. Gasoline, which is $42 even. Copay was $60.19. And then we have unbudgeted, which was a whopping number. So I transferred from my high yield savings account $13,000, and I added another $528.34 from car fund into my sinking funds in the money market account. That's the same as my checking account. My high yield savings is Edward Jones, but my bank is Navy Federal, and that's where the $528 came from. So I kind of combined those together to cover the entire cost of the unbudgeted, which was, let's see here, Orkin for $10,442, Nissan for $3,086.34, and then I know some others that got covered. Fairfield Inn, $247.58, and that was the first half of the month. So that was paycheck 1. These are paycheck 2. So these two combined here that we moved money for. You can see the $13,000 plus the $528.34. That is what I'm putting here because we already paid the credit card. Once all the charges hit the credit card account, I'm waiting for the payment to clear, and our credit will be back to normal, where we only owe for what we're spending in our categories and any bills that get posted to the credit card. So I do have an adjustment of 8 cents. I didn't need to put this here, even though it looked like it based on my bank account. I'm not sure where this 8 cents is floating from or where my math has gone wrong. So I added it in and I took it out here. So they kind of cancel each other out to match the bank account before my husband's regular salary check for the end of the month that goes to the first of the next month hit the bank account. So that's kind of where I'm working from right here. And so now that I have all my numbers and I know what I spent and we know how much over we are in what category, but we still had money left over, and I didn't spend as much in groceries this time around, which was really good. Though this month I might spend a little bit more, maybe not, because we are traveling. So I haven't quite figured out the month of October yet, but I will get that done and show you how that works. But we had a little bit left over, so that meant we had a positive balance at the end of the month. Now, originally estimated balance forward, that's what EBF stands for, I had 37 cents. Luckily, it's over $100, so I'm excited about that. Mostly due to the fact that grocery and household was not used or consumed nearly as much. So I'm going to go ahead and get this set up so we can calculate all the numbers. First, we're starting with the balance forward. This was the leftover money from paycheck 1 to help cover the bills in paycheck 2, which is about the same. It's like $842.60. That's $811.32 that came over. So only a little bit of money came out of this paycheck to cover bills. The rest of it was spending categories, and that's how that operated. So we start with $811.32, and then we're going to add my husband's salary check, and he gets paid twice a month, so I only have 2 paychecks. And this was his middle of the month paycheck, which was $1,411.90. Then I had that bank transfer from my high yield savings of $13,000, plus my money market account, which is a totally different bank savings, $528.34. The money market account is where I park all my sinking funds, and I had a car fund that covered the difference of what I needed, because when I requested the $1,300, there was another thing that they found on my vehicle that needed to be covered, and I wasn't aware of it when I request this transfer. It takes a couple days to get deposited into the account. So I just did it from my sinking funds and combined them together, and we have now $15,751.56. That there is the money that came in. Now, obviously, a lot of that was from savings, and then the rest of it, $2,223.22, came from actual income that came in. So that is what that is. And now I'm looking here at our fixed expenses that I have listed, and I don't think anything changed. And I'm looking at my notes, and they're identical. So I'm just going to move this number over, $842.60. And then I'm going to go over here and find out how much we actually spent for all our variable and include the adjustment. So here we go. All right, so it looks like we spent $14,774.41. Now I'm going to take this number, we're going to clear this out and subtract all of this so we can find out what was actually left in our checking account. And I want to double check and make sure it matches. Hopefully I did my math correctly off camera to make this go easy and smooth. So $15,751.56 minus the $842.60 and minus the $14,774.41. Boom. Yes, got it. So I'm balancing forward into the month of October because it's a small amount and I don't want to do too many transfers. Not that I can't, my bank allows it, I just don't want to do it. $134.55 is what was sitting in my checking account before the new paycheck period, and that money hit on the 29th. So that worked out really well. I have everything accounted for, and that is the closeout of paycheck 2, and that is the closeout of my monthly budget for the entire month. So that is my end of the month budget for September. Short and sweet because I didn't have a lot of transactions to close out in the weekly check-in because I'm putting them in October. But yeah, this is how I close it out. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.
Girl, it feels we're mine. We played hide and seek for hours, raised our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and free, without a care.